Hi everybody, it's Kristin and I have another 4 Looks 1 palette for you. I know that I just did one of these very recently, the Too Faced Peachy Matte, whatever that thing's called. And that I'm kind of, doing this right on the heels of that. But this, to my knowledge anyways, limited edition for holiday 2017. And so I thought I would go ahead and do it so that you could decide if you wanted to purchase it. So let's just go ahead and get into it. And I have the little kind of cheat sheet here in front of me so I can try to say the names properly. So I went ahead and I took this shade right here, which is Montaigne. I'm sure that's wrong. But that matte mid-tone shade, and I used my Wayne Goss number 16, I think this is. Yep, number 16 brush, and I laid that down in my crease. I then took a MAC 239, and I went into this shade right here, which is Cien. It's gonna be rough, you guys. I'm just gonna apologize in advance for saying these wrong the rest of the video. I feel like it's the river, it's a Seine, the Seine River. I think I was right the first time. Anyway, so I put that all over my lid. And then I just took I have it right here, a MAC 217, and I went into the shade in Carousel, which is this shade right here, on the outer corner, and I pulled it in beneath my lower lash line. I took a pencil brush, and I apologize, I don't know which one this is. I'm going to guess it's the 219 from MAC. And it's all worn off, I've had it forever. So I went in with that same Carousel color on the outer 2/3, and then again I went in with Seine, which is right here, on the inner third. And I think that's it for the eye look. So let me go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so here's the look. I did line my upper waterline with the Essence Eye Pencil Waterproof 16 Hour. I'm just trying to see if there's an actual name on it. Extreme Lasting, that's what it is, in Black Love. And then on my cheeks, I used the Maybelline. This has been discontinued to my knowledge, but I love this. I pull it out this time every year. This is the Master Highlight in Mauve. So that's what I have on my cheeks. No highlight because there's enough highlight in this. And then on my lips, I used the Bite Beauty Lip in Glacé. I think that's what it's called. Yep, Glacé. And then over the top of it, I went in with the Beauty Junkies. This is one of their little minis. And this is the one in Mint Blossom. All right, for my second look, I used my Wayne Goss number 16 brush. And I used the shade right here in Montaigne. By the way, I double checked. That is how you say it. And he was a French philosopher, in case you're curious. Sometimes I like to know where these things come from. I haven't had time to look them all up, but I did look that one up. So I laid that down in my crease, and then on sorry I didn't pull it out, Sonia Kashuk number, I always call it 206, and it's actually 106. Little brush like this. I went in with Palette, which is this shade right here, on my inner third and outer third. I grabbed a MAC 217, in case you don't know, it looks brush like this. That's not the one I used, but that's that kind of brush. And I took that Palette and I connected it above, so I did a halo eye today. And that's how I do it. I usually will take a laid-on brush with the color on my inner third and outer third, and then I'll take a 217 and then I connect them and blend them into my transition shade. And then I just flipped this same brush over and I went in with the shade Rivoli right here on the center third. Then I went and grabbed a pencil brush, so MAC 219. I lay down my lower liner first, that's my preference. So I put the Essence black liner down there, and then I went over it with this shade right here in Palette. And then I wiped that brush off really well, and then I just blended it out with a little bit more of the Montaigne. And lastly, seems more involved than it is, but lastly I grabbed a brush like this. This is a flat definer from Beauty Junkies. And I went into that black, which is Tuileries. I went into the Tuileries with that and just went right up at my lash line just to kind of smudge out that lash line a little bit. And then I lined my upper waterline as well as my lower waterline. And I think that's, oh no, I'm sorry. I of course took Honoree, which is the shade right here. I blended that inner corner, I blended up here, and I blended out the edges just a little bit. So that is everything. I will go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so here's the look. For blush today, I used the Chanel blush in Jersey. And then on my lips, I used the Milani, what is this actually called? Color Statement Lip Liner in 04, which is all natural. Lined my lips completely with that. And then I used the NYX Pinup Pout in Corset over the top. So for look number 3, I took my MAC 239 and I went into this shade here, which is CN, and I just put that all over my lid and I brought it up just a little bit extra in that kind of outer third. And then I used my Tom Ford crease brush, which looks like this, and I went into this shade in Montaigne. Oh, I looked that up. It's been a few days, actually almost a week, since I did my third look, and I know I looked up how to say that. Now I can't remember. Montaigne, I think is correct. And I used that as my transition shade, really blended that out into the crease again with that Tom Ford brush. I'm just laughing at myself. Then just on the outer edge of that crease, I grabbed a Sigma E36, which is this really teeny tiny, nice little fluffy brush, and I went into the shade Louvre. I think I'm saying that correctly. Right there, and I put that just in the outer crease over the edge of where I had put that Montaigne. And then I grabbed my MAC, think for a second, grabbed my MAC 219 and I took that same shade beneath my lower lash line. And I really wanted to deepen things up. What I wanted was a deep brown, and since there's not a deep brown in here, I took my Goss number 6 brush and I went between the black here, which is Tuileries, and then the shade here again. I kind of just went between the two of them and tried to sort of make a deeper, so I just went between those two and I just kind of tried to make it deeper in the outer corner a little bit. And then I took a push liner brush, and I think this is the Beauty Junkies one, the flat definer, Beauty Junkie flat definer, and I went on the outer third lash line with that same black shade, and then on my lower lash line, just right up at the lash line. And I think that is everything. So let me zoom you in. Okay, so here's the look. I pulled out, I think this was from fall, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, I'm losing my mind. But so it's the Chanel blush in Rouge Profonde. And then I went, this also was from that same collection. I just was feeling that sort of red shade. This is the lip liner from Chanel in Seduction. And then over the top of that is from their, let me see which line this is from. The Rouge Allure Velvet line. This is the shade number 58 in Rouge V. For my fourth and final look, I really wanted to use the shade in Royal because I hadn't used it yet. So that was kind of the only plan I had going on was that I was going to use that. So there really is only one transition color in here, which is this one in Montaigne. And so I used that in my crease. I laid that down first, and I did that with a Wayne Goss number 17 brush. And then I went in right after that on the outer corner and just kind of blended it in with the Wayne Goss number 18 brush in Tuileries, which is that black shade. I laid that down and blended that in. And then over the top of that, I went in with Royal on a MAC 239 brush. I realized when I was editing this, and I started editing it this morning, that I say 239, but I don't always show you it. But I just feel like everybody knows what it is. So anyway, I went in with Royal and I laid that down on my lid. I guess it was all about the Goss brushes today for the most part. The Goss number 05, and I used Royal beneath my lower lash line as well. I lined my upper waterline with the black liner and my upper lash line with the same, and I blended out my upper lash line with a Sigma E21 brush. And oh, I was gonna say, there had to have been more to it than that. It took like this is the Sigma version. Again, I don't know, it's an old number, but it's like the MAC 217. And I went in with that shade in Honoree, this one right here. And I really blended out that brow bone, and I didn't really want this stark of a difference between this shade and this shade here, but I had to have some kind of a transition. So I really went over that and kind of blended down that color a little bit. I hope that makes sense. So let me go ahead and zoom you in. Okay, so here's the look. On the rest of my face, I had the MAC Mineralized Blush in Warm Soul as my blush. And then on my lips is my go-to nude lip look when I do something dark like this. And it's my Charlotte Tilbury. So it's the liner in Iconic Nude, the lipstick in Penelope Pink, which looks like that, and then the gloss in Seduction. All right, so let's have some swatches. Honoree, Rivoli, and Montaigne. You're not gonna see Henri because it's legit my skin color. And then that is the Rivoli and Montaigne. And then this is Seine, I believe, Palette and Louvre. So Sienne, Palette, and Louvre. And then Carousel, Royal, and Tuileries. Carousel, Royal, and Tuileries. Okay, so let's talk about the palette a little bit. It sells for $49. For certain, you can buy it on Sephora's website. My guess is Viseart and Muse Beauty Pro. I would guess it's at both of those, but I'll list whatever I can find below for you. And there are 9 shades, as you saw. 4 of those are matte, and 5 of them have some shimmer to them, as you saw. They are great to work with. They're very typical Viseart shadows. I really like them. There are some shades that kind of make me go, in here, but I'm sure that there is a plan and a color story in place. Like, you know, this one isn't something you would normally find in a palette. It makes me go, but I really like kind of the addition of it on an outer corner, like an edge, like I did, I think it was the 3rd look. These 2 are beautiful lid shades. This one is stunning for blue or green eyes. I mean, stunning for every color eye, but particularly for blue or green eyes. Very, very happy with the quality of this. It's nice and little to travel with. The only thing is that I feel like if I'm going to travel with it, there's probably, if I'm traveling for work. And so there's probably only a couple of eye looks that I could do from this, but that's fine. I mean, that's pretty standard with any sort of little palette. So I'm very happy with like I said, with the quality. It's the same as that I've come to know and love with Viseart. I love how they look on the eyes. I love how they wear on the eyes. They don't fade away. They don't crease. I'm very pleased with it. My only complaint is this is really hard to get into. I mean, you have to really do you have to hold it just like this and then get it it's not easy to get into. It's kind of tricky, so I don't appreciate that. There's a little bit of powdery kick up with the mattes, but that's standard and it's not excessive. It isn't like Lorac kick up. And I had lost my train of thought there. The only one that I had any fallout issues with was Royal, and that was today. I'm not sure if you can see, I tried to clean it up with some concealer, but I did kind of have some fallout issues with that. So other than that, I'm really happy with it. Very, very happy with it. I don't love that this comes out, but you know, I mean, I don't think every makeup company is making products for YouTubers that like to know what the names of the shades are when they're talking about them. So, all right, let me tell you what was on the rest of my face throughout the video. I was wearing the Eve Pearl Priming Moisturizing Treatment as my primer, the Chanel Le Beige in shade 20. Over the top of that, this is a discontinued product, but I'm trying to work through it and use it up. But it was the Estee Lauder Loose. It's the Double Wear Mineral Rich Loose Powder Makeup in Intensity 1.0. For a bronzer, same bronzer I've been using, the Bare Minerals Invisible Bronze in Fair to Light by Terry Hydra Powder underneath my eyes. MAC Pro Longwear for my concealer. And lastly, which I always forget, I'm so sorry, mascara. This time I was wearing the L'Oreal Voluminous Lash Paradise Mascara. And I think that is it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this, and in everything that you do, be beautiful. Bye.